guys, welcome back to Rewatch Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, and finally, I know some of you little fucking fry-eating sons of bitches got to see this early, but today is the release date for Hellraiser Judgment.
You fuckers that got to see it early.
Woo! Official.
Wolfpack. Woo!
So, this movie's crazy story. This is a non-spoiler review. We're going to do a spoiler review for it.
No, we're not.
Shut the fuck up, Sanchez.
But a dick poncho.
It's crazy, man, because after that dark night at Taco Bell that was... Not Taco Bell, because Taco Bell's fucking great.
Yeah,
it was
dark night at Denny's.
Yeah,
Denny's.
That was Hellraiser...
Revelation
of the
it looked like somebody shot it in their fucking attic when their mom was home, like not home. It was like, let's just do this real quick.
When Doug Bradley didn't want to do this one, and then it was announced that Dimension's going to do yet another Hellraiser movie, everybody's like, well, it's going to be a big old floppy piece of shit.
Yep.
And that's what we all kind of thought. But the guy who's doing it worked on the last film, but he just did special effects. He's done a lot of special effects stuff. His name's Gary Tunnicliffe. Probably saying that wrong. That's okay.
Oh no.
But he came out and he's like, look guys, I know that the last movie sucked. He was like, I'm a fan just like you guys are. I'm going to do everything I can with the budget I have to make this as great as it was. And you know what? Fucking hey, dude, this was fucking good. Like, holy shit.
The cool thing about this movie is you do see that he is a fan of Pinhead and the mythos of Hellraiser. Just the way that he films it and the storyline he tries to conduct around Hellraiser itself. Like, the idea behind why this plot is existing and what's going on behind the scenes makes perfect sense if you think about, well, the Cenobites have to adapt to the 21st century by any means necessary just to keep the flow going. I mean, if your flow stops flowing, then you're fucked and you've got a backup, you gotta call the plumber. We can't have that. And Pinhead can't have that, and nobody can have that. So he had to create a reason or a way to get something going for himself, and they fucking do. And they don't, I mean, is it the most magical thing in the world? No. But can you understand the frustration of Pinhead? Yes.
Technology may have advanced, but sin remains unchanged. Pure. Greed. Lust. Lies. Betrayal.
This new millennium hurtles forward. Faith is lost. Mankind have become a vacuum without morality.
And that's a good thing. I think he does credit to the character of Pinhead. I think he does credit to the actors that are in this movie, to the most part. Some of them, I mean, they could be written out. Nobody would fucking care. They're like red shirts on Star Trek. They fucking die at some point. You're like, well, I mean, I know that's going to happen, but I just hope it happens gruesomely.
So then those are the souls we shall seek out first.
But still, though, the way it flows and everything going through, it's still great, man. I think he does a really fantastical job.
The guy who plays Pinhead in this, which the last guy, we won't even talk about that. Like, it's not obviously it's not Doug Bradley, but when they got Paul Taylor to do this, there was this big thing where the director, compared him to like some fucking amazing acting greats. And even Doug Bradley, they asked him in an interview, they're like, what advice would you give him for playing Pinhead? And he was like, well, apparently he's fucking the greatest thing since sliced bread, so it's my advice. But the dude, you know what? We talked about this before. I feel like, they didn't want to give him too much screen time, but he's in it just enough. He's in the background at the right times.
The box. You opened it. We came.
It's just a puzzle box!
Oh no.
He has really good lines. He's written well. And I think the dude did a good job playing Pinhead. I thought this was a good Pinhead.
Is that they keep him in the shadow, which is what the original Pinhead was. I mean, you really didn't see Pinhead that much in the first Hellraiser movie. Like, in the first Hellraiser movie, he was more like spoken about and kind of alluded to by Frank, and then not even by name, just that these things will come and get me. And then he was still, like, the scary part about him is the way that he moved in the shadows, like, oh, I have such sights to show you, shit like that. Like, what do you got? Like, what do you got? You got the Mexican fries from Taco Bell? Because
delicious. They did. One thing you worry about with this is the budget. It's a low budget. They're just doing it to keep the rights, that sort of thing. But I gotta tell you, the guy who directed this managed the budget fantastically, I think. Because I think they put all their money into really gross out shit. Like, the auditor looks amazing, and the guy who acts it, I love the auditor. He's probably my favorite part of the movie. I thought he was fantastic. But the way that they do it, they put all their money into the special effects, into the gross shit. And yeah, the only time you can see there's a low budget is at one point when you see like Pinhead and the Cenobites and everybody hanging out. They're in like a basement, just like across the wall from each other, just like sitting in their own corners. So it's not like this vast hell. And then you got these two detectives, and it looks like they're just hanging out in a bar. Like,
Well,
what kind of police station is this?
I
They
was-
literally look like they're in a shed.
I was
But-
trying to bend my mind around the fact that when they were all hanging out, the Cenobites in one room, you know, Pinhead like budget constraints. It's like we can't do anything. But I mean, maybe it was because it was only a small pocket of hell on Earth, so
Betsy-
it wasn't Leviathan.
Betsy, it's your turn to play with the blocks. You go to housekeeping. Get to your areas, children.
The auditor, I want to talk about him really fast. He's one of the guys that he's kind of now the muscle, almost the muscle for Pinhead, and not in the way that you think. When I say
He's a
muscle,
receptionist.
yeah, he's not like the muscle. Like he doesn't go out and like beat the shit out of somebody. He's like, "Where's my money?" Like nothing like
Basil
that.
says I gotta break your thumbs. I gotta break your thumbs.
You know, Rocky knows best.
You should have planned ahead.
Can I have a job? In a way, you kind of like just like. I think you're just a normal dude. Like I'm just like I know your shit's all fucking cut up because you're probably emo and you cut your shit too much. But he was like, "Tell me about your secrets, okay? You'll tell me your secrets now." And he was like, "So I don't know anything." I was like, "No, of course you do. Come on now, tell me your secrets." And then he'll start doing it. He'll start to say, "Yes, I like that." Then he'll say, "Nah, you will be clean and you will be assessed."
The way they had it set up is like a doctor's office. Like you come in, they bring these sinners in, they sit them down, they make them tell their stories, and the auditor fucking just types all this shit out,
I like
and then
him.
they bring in the assessor who decide what your fate is. Which in this, it's pretty much the same every time.
It really was like a doctor's office because it's like the auditor would be like, "Well, your insurance isn't going to cover this, but it might cover that." And you're like, "Okay, so what can I get?" The assessor comes in, is like, "We can chop your fucking leg off because you have." So he's like, "Well, that's my insurance."
Then they go in the back room and then they do all sorts of crazy shit to him, and then eventually you have the final. But what it does, it creates like this system where you get to see every single part of like the people that you know from the past Hellraiser movies coming out. And the way it's filmed, they do an amazing job with the effects. It's fucking nasty.
I also like to see-
I mean, it's fucking gross, dude. I almost threw up once.
It does the good thing, and the way that the Hellraiser movies should make you feel is it grosses you out, but it makes you uneasy at the same time. And they combine that really well. Like the other Hellraiser movies that have come out before this, Hellworld sucked a big dick. Revelation sucked too. Deader was bad, and then you get a little bit further back. Some of them get better, but this one got back to the roots, I think. And again, it's about making you feel really uncomfortable about these nasty things going on, and it makes you want to take a fucking shower. Like you have to take a shower.
Definite shower.
And if you're taking a shower while you're watching it, for some reason, if you're in the shower watching this on your laptop, you gotta scald your fucking skin while you watch because that's about flesh and blood and veins and titty nipples. And you're like, God, dude, I don't know what to do. And by the way, I think it's funny that the main idea behind Pinhead in this is basically, you could just say this, he's bored. Pinhead's fucking bored. Like, he's been hanging out for fucking decades. He's like
Shredder, bring me teenagers.
yeah, but then he was talking to the auditor and he was like, where's everybody? Where's the fucking party? And he's like, we sent the invites, but no one comes for magic boxes. He's like, what? He's like, it's a great wooden fucking box. Like, yes, but you have to do other things to get sinners. I was like, do it.
The opening 20 minutes of the movie will tell you whether or not you want to continue watching or not, because it's just fucking in your face and batshit. And then you have these two detectives, and some people were complaining that it's way too Saw that they go with the detective angle. I didn't feel that at all while watching this. You got these two detectives, and they're searching, going after a serial killer, and there's some of the shit the serial killer does reminds me of the Glimmer Man, where they're hunting that guy. This serial killer is fucked up. He does some nasty shit.
It's already been mentioned.
It's very 7-ish.
Yeah, it's been mentioned before. It's 7. Like that. I mean, they borrowed a lot from 7, and I can see the Saw thing, but the detective thing has been used before in Inferno.
Yeah.
And it was a great fucking attempt. I liked Inferno a lot. Like I thought Inferno could have been a theatrical release if it wanted to be. I don't know why people think like just because they use detectives and use that kind of storyline to tell with the Hellraiser background, it's going to somehow detract from the movie. Hellseeker, I think, had a detective in it.
That's the thing. The Hellraiser's done that exact same thing before. The main detective's Damon Carney, and I think the guy's a good actor.
Yeah.
Like, especially for a low-budget movie like this, I thought he was really good. And it really follows him and centers on him and his fucked-up storyline. I thought he did a great job. I liked him a lot. And we'll kind of leave it at that as far as where the story goes so that you can see it for yourself. So we'll talk about it in the spoiler review. But, man, I thought the movie was acted well. I thought the writing was done well. There's a lot of nods to other Hellraiser movies. You'll notice a lot of quotes in this stuff. Pinhead was pretty good. There's a couple of choices that they make where I'm kind of like, no, I don't know. But for the most part, this is, other than, it's not the original, but I like it just as much. And I got to go back and rewatch it. It's been a while. But I'm shocked as shit that I'm saying this right now. I actually like Hellraiser Judgment almost as much as any other Hellraiser movie minus the first one.
You need to
it might be my second favorite Hellraiser movie.
I don't know about that, Jim. I liked it. I liked it fair. I mean, I definitely think it was a step in the right direction. I don't think it was anything wrong with the movie overall. I think the movie has really good, strong points, and I think it takes the series back to where it has been lost, or it kind of went its own way and fucked everything up with especially with Deader and then going into Hellworld and then Revelations, especially for that one. It goes back to what it should have been, and for that reason alone, the guy deserves all the credit in the world, the director, and what they put together here. It sucks that Paul Bradley wasn't in it, but you know, Doug Bradley. The thing about Doug Bradley is that Doug Bradley is an older dude. I mean, he's getting up there. I mean, you can't keep putting the makeup on him and disguising that shit. I mean, he's the greatest Pinhead of all time. He's the only Pinhead of all time. But the guy that played him in this, I think he does a really good job. And I think that if we get a sequel to this, and he comes back, I think it's going to be even better. Either way, man, I'm going to give the movie a 7.0 myself. I think that any Hellraiser fan will like it. And any horror fan will like it too. It's not like it's not just something that takes a dump on your face and says, "Smell my fart." Like, smell my fart, I gotta make a movie really quick.
I'm gonna give it a strong 7.5. It's almost an 8 for me. Like, I like it that much. Like, a strong 7.5. And for what this guy had to work with in making this movie, I give him a 10 for the effort that they put in, because everybody, and I think the studio wanted this just to be a, hey, let's just hold on to the rights and throw something out, but this guy had a love for it, and he said, no, I want to make something great for the fans, and you did a fucking marvelous job, man. I respect the shit out of everybody involved with this. And
I also want to say, by the way, it was really cool that they did bring back some of the other Cenobites. They brought back the Wire Twins, which I hadn't seen them since Inferno. And Chatterer, like, he came in Hellworld, but I think he was in Deader too. But Chatterer has always been like a second favorite of mine. I wish they had brought back like Butterball and like female. But either way, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of it, and you guys will fucking too.
There's probably 12 or 13 moments in this movie where you will go, oh fuck! It's nasty. I just gotta reiterate that. It's fucking nasty.
There's some nasty
and I
stuff.
love it. So comment down below, let us know what your all's thoughts are. Check out our spoiler review. It'll be out after this one. We love your fucking faces, and if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some of that goddamn wham up here.
Yes.
I have such sights to show you on my wiener.
Take from my body.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.